Today is Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is, y'all. Oh my god, I'm a mess. Hey guys, my name is Lori and welcome back to my channel. Okay, yes, today is Tuesday and since last week I've been wanting to do a bookshelf tour because if you haven't watched that video, I set up a mini bookshelf back here with the lights with all my paperback books, and I wanted to do a tour, but the bottom shelf over here, well, obviously you're not going to be able to see it, but the bottom shelf is full of all my manga and all my graphic novels, and it's going to take a long time for me to just talk about all of the graphic novels and all of the mangas as well. So I decided to just do a separate video for the manga. I'm thinking about doing a separate video for my graphic novels. If you are interested, comment down below if you would like to see it. But right now I'm just going to do the manga because I have quite a lot, and just know that some of these series are not completed because manga and graphic novels tend to be $12 to $20. So it's really hard to collect them, but I've developed my collection over the time, and I just wanted to show you guys and recommend you guys some mangas. So without further ado, here's the video. Alright y'all, before I start with the physical copies, there are two manga series that I do not have a physical copy, but I will be getting them in the future because I am obsessed with these two, and I'm talking about Yana of the Dawn and Dreaming Sun. I love these for completely for two different reasons. Like, Yana of the Dawn is more about that fantasy action packed, and this one is more about contemporary slice of life, but like there's some tea going on with this series. So yes, I do not have a physical copy because I read them in the span of last month. Yes, last month, and I read a lot from this one, and I believe I stopped at 6, and that's a lot of manga to buy. So I'm going to be slowly purchasing them, and I read them from the library, but I just wanted to include it in this video because I love these two series so much. Alright, so the first book that I'm going to talk about is the first manga that I've ever read. It was in middle school, I remember, and I picked it up on a whim because everybody was talking about it, and this is, everybody knows what I'm going to show, and it's really popular. It is the Death Note. This is the black edition. Literally, it is all black, and oh my god, it is just gorgeous. So I wanted to collect all the volumes, but since this is a better deal, because for 2 volumes you're getting it for $15, so it's a lot better deal. And yes, everybody has heard about the Death Note manga, and yeah, it's super popular. It is very dark, but it is really intriguing. Like, this manga makes you think a lot. Next one that I want to talk about, it is in a weird format, but I still recommend it, and it is the Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash Volume 1. Now, you would think that you see this cover and it's like, oh wow, it's a manga, but actually it really isn't. It's the chapter book. It does have some illustrations, and the front will tell you all about the characters plus the covers. I picked it up on a whim because I thought that the cover looked cool, and when I actually opened it, it's a actual, you know, regular book, and it was super exciting. So yes, this follows a group of characters who wake up and they have no idea where they are. They have no idea what happened. They only remember their names, and the way that they wake up, it's in this it's in the Grimgar. It looks like an RPG world, so they just set off into an adventure, and that's pretty much it for the series. I know it has a couple volumes already out, and yeah. So if you are not into manga, but you do want to get started and you don't like the actual format, there are actually a couple books that are manga style, but they're just in a chapter book format. Next one that I want to talk about it is Love is Hard for an Otaku by Fujita. I believe this has volumes 1 and 2. Yes, I just looked at it in the back. This is the Japanese version, and again, this one gets a lot of buzz too. It's super fun. I would highly suggest for it to be in like the summertime. So Narumi is an otaku. She's you know, really into the games, manga, everything, and all her relationships have gone to dust because they found out that she's an otaku. So she keeps that part of her life separate and nobody knows. But when Hirotaka, which is a old childhood friend, comes to her work and he knows, and he's a fellow otaku himself, she wants to keep it a secret so that her life is separate from her work life. But then she decides, you know, why not date a fellow otaku? So that's where the story takes off. Again, it's great art. Yeah, it's like really great art. It does have some color pop up randomly in here. This book is a lot of fun and I highly recommend it. So the next book that I'm going to be showing you guys that is in my collection, it is A Spy Baby by Maki and Joji. This I started it and I thought it was super fun because this starts like this manga starts like running. So we are following Tamaki, and she is late for an interview, and this girl cannot hold down a job whatsoever. Kagetora, this is the rich man that is over here. He has a bodyguard, and they're running from something or someone. It's not clear, but she encounters the guy and does a high kick to the neck, and yes, her skirt rips. It's a freaking mess, and he is so impressed by her strength, her skill, and her speed. He wants to hire her as his personal bodyguard. So the story is really cool. I have not continued on with the series, but it's sitting in my collection because I thought the first volume was really fun, and hopefully by the time I finish this, I will continue on with the series. Next manga that I do have in my collection, everybody kind of already knows this, and it is Bleach. It's part of the Shonen Jump manga. Now, I watched the series, and I really liked it, so I wanted to pick up the manga for it. And this follows Ichigo Kurosaki, and he can see evil spirits and actually defeats them. But little does he know that there's a soul society that has reapers, and that's what their job is. So it takes him on this whole entire journey. I do recommend the anime as well, but I'm excited to finally get into the manga. Alright, the next two mangas that I'm going to be talking about, I'm obsessed with the cover. First of all, this was a cover buy, but when I read the synopsis, I was super intrigued. I am talking about To Your Eternity by Yoshitoki Oima? I believe so. Yes, To Your Eternity. Look at that cover, y'all. Like, first of all, this cover is gorgeous. Like, you know what? Like, I don't even care. This cover is gorgeous. And then I read it in the back, and I read the first volume and I was so intrigued, but I don't even know how to explain it. This is just the type of manga. I have volume 2 right here as well. And this is just the type of manga that I would suggest that you just go into it. Like, knowing almost nothing. Just go into it and enjoy the ride. So I'll give you somewhat of a synopsis or the main thing. So, the gods, or I believe just God, a god, dropped down this orb to a planet. It landed on Earth. And this orb, whatever it touches, it can change. Like it uses like metamorphosis to change whatever it touches. So it can become objects, or it can become animals, it can become humans, and it's immortal. Like it can respawn, or it just doesn't die. Yes, it can get murdered, but by a couple days it heals its body and kind of just restarts again. So when this manga starts, it just starts off as a rock, and I believe thousands of years pass until something touches it, and then it becomes a wolf, and the wolf is a companion, and it's just, it takes you on for this crazy ride. And I was not expecting it, but wow, was I blown away by this manga. I highly suggest that you do pick it up. I will, as you can see, I will be continuing on with the series. Alright, the next manga that is in my collection, it is Tales of Wedding Rings Volume 1. Now this, I don't know exactly how to pronounce the characters' names, so I'll just go by the characters. And this follows two characters. One is a male and the other one is a female. And they have been friends since childhood up until high school. Now, he has no idea like where her background is or where she comes from. She met him as a child as a neighbor, and they've been friends since then. But there comes a day where she has to come back to her kingdom and get married, but he's always been in love with her, so he decides that he wants to crash the wedding and get married to her. But what he doesn't know is that this girl comes from a kingdom, and whoever marries her gets this immense power and is tasked to save the world. So he's like, he finds this out and he's like, do I really want to do this? Like, I'm in high school. So it's super fun. And yeah, I believe it's not brand new, but it's a newer series, so I highly suggest that you give it a chance. Alright, the next manga in my collection, it is Sweetness and Lightning by Guido Amagakure. I really like this manga, and I'm planning to buy the whole entire series. And for my Simsathon TBR, I mentioned this book, and pretty much what this is a single father, because his wife died. He is raising a child, and he has no idea how to cook. He doesn't cook at all. So one of his students, her family owns a restaurant, and she decides to teach him how to cook. So this is pretty much the whole entire manga. I have my bookmark here, and I'll show you one of the pages. This manga, the reason why I love it so much is, one, it's super cute, and I love the story, and I love seeing single father stories, because it's not really talked about, but yet there's a lot of situations out there. And it actually gives you recipes. Like, this is the miso pork soup. The first recipe in the book, it's actually rice. And for every, I'm gonna say chapter, because it usually has, manga has like, I want to say like 4 or 5 chapters in one volume. For every chapter, this gives a recipe, and I believe there's like 5 books, so I get a bunch of recipes and a cute story. I love it. So if you are interested, I highly recommend this series. Alright, the next manga in my collection, I picked it up on a whim on Book Outlet, and I still think you can get it, and it is Magi the Ninth by Ichiya Sassinami. I have volumes 1 and 2, and I don't know what compelled me to, well, I know exactly what compelled me to pick up the series, but I've never heard of anybody talk about the series, and I was like, what? And pretty much, which gave it away, and I was like, I need the series right now. The character, it is Beethoven, and he is a demon hunter, and the way that they hunt demons is through the power of music. I was blown away. I was blown away. I was like, excuse me, what? So I had to pick up these 2 volumes. If you don't know, I am a music major, so music has always been one of my passions, besides reading, painting, photography, and blah blah blah. But music's always been a huge part of my life. So when I found out that I can combine music and reading with manga, I was like, sign me up. The next books in my collection is volumes 1 and 2 of The Ancient Magnus Bride by Kore Yamazaki. I hope I said that right. And I really liked the first volume. I just picked it up on a whim. Plus I wanted to see the anime as well. And yeah, I picked the first volume up and I really liked it. I believe I gave it a 4 stars. So I picked up volume 2 and I'm currently reading that. Now this is pretty much I believe it's Shise. It's her, and she has visions. So he takes her on as a magician's apprentice, and this is just her learning about herbs, magic, and all of that stuff. So it is a weird series, but I still highly recommend it. I really like the first book. It is this is a fantasy manga, if you couldn't tell, but yeah, it was super cool and I highly recommend it. Alright, the next one that is in my collection, I only have volume 1, and it is Defrag by Tomoya Haruno. This pretty much follows Kazuma, and he's just a bad boy. He always gets in trouble, and it's because of him and his gang. And they do this like game development tournament or something like that. Whatever it is, this other gang, which is a group of 4 girls, actually defeats them, and he decides to join them. So this just follows all of the 5 characters, and yeah, it's pretty much a game, like cyber game, but just people actually playing it. It's super cool. So I don't really know what else to say about it. I know it has a couple volumes out, and I believe I got it on Book Outlet as well. Alright, the next one, it's not really a manga, but it's short enough to fit in all my manga collection, and it's in black and white, and it is Little Moments of Love. It's a Katana comic collection. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but I picked it up on Hoopla, and I just fell in love with it so much. This is pretty much like weird stuff that couples do, but it is in this format, and oh my god, I thought it was so freaking cute and I love it so much. This is filled with like hilarious and super cute moments like this, and I had such a great time reading this that I had to have it in my collection. Next series that I have in my collection, that I only have volumes 1 and 2, but I'm going to continue on with the series, and that is 7 Deadly Sins. This was adapted in the Netflix anime, and I love it so much. Like season 1 was great. Like I was sucked into it, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is this? And then there's a season 2 which talks about the Holy Grail, and it was really quick season. I was so disappointed because I was like, season 2, I need to see it, and it's only a couple episodes. I was like, wow, y'all, like seriously? But season 3 came out, and it's so good. So I loved the anime so much that I've decided to buy all the manga, y'all, and the manga is just as good as the anime. So I highly suggest that you watch this anime, but then I highly suggest that you pick up the manga as well. So, the next series that I'm going to be talking about, I fell in love. I fell head over heels over this manga, and I decided to collect all the volumes. Again, I only have volumes 1 and 2, and I am talking about Assassination Classroom. It is a Shonen Jump manga as well. It's a Yusei Matsui. Oh my god, I'm holding up volume 2. Oh my god, Koro Sensei is like one of my favorite like characters ever. Oh my god, I picked this up on a whim. My best friend's boyfriend started the series, and he's like, you need to watch this. He's like, I know you are going to love it. And I was like, really? I was really hesitant because it was like a group of Kuro Sensei is an alien, and he comes to Earth and blows up part of the moon, and he says within this time frame, if nobody kills me, I'm gonna destroy Earth and everything in its existence. So his passion is actually teaching, and with class E3 is a group of rejects that the school doesn't want because they're just trouble kids, and they have really like horrible grades, which they're about to get kicked out. So Koro sensei decides to take these kids on and not only teach them, get their grades up, and try to get them to really good university, but he trains them to be assassins to see if one of them can actually kill him before he wipes out existence. I know it's a lot, y'all. The first time I heard that, I was like, seriously? Like, am I gonna like this? Oh my god, I loved it so much. Y'all, like, again, it's another thing where it's, the anime is incredible, the manga is incredible. I highly suggest that you read and watch both. Like, it's okay if you watch the anime, or it's okay that you read the manga, but like, just do both because it is so good. And these covers are great because each cover has Koro sensei's mood, and it's just so fun. If you can't tell that I absolutely adore the series, then I don't know how else to show it. Alright, the next series in my collection, it is That Wolf Boy, It's Mine by Yoko Nogiri. I have volumes 1 and 2, and I think I'm going to continue on with the series because I have read both of them. But the best way to describe these books, it is a slice of life romance with a supernatural twist. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it is so good. Like, it's not, honestly, it's not the best manga that you've ever read, but it does keep you intrigued, and it keeps it keeps you wanting more, and sorry, it keeps you wanting more and reading more as well. So the supernatural twist is that the high school boys, they have this club, and they kind of just keep apart from everybody else. These are 2 of the members, and they can actually shift into animals. One is a wolf and the other one is a fox. So if you can't tell, That Wolf Boy Is Mine. It's just but I don't want to give too much away. I just want you to jump into it knowing, again, it's a slice of life with some supernatural. Alright, the next one in my collection is My Pathetic Vampire Life by Ishikawa Rose. Now, this follows Koid, I believe that's his name, and he's a vampire. He can, yes, he can walk in the sunlight, but he's super weak. Now, this dude got turned while he is 16, and he is miserable, and he hates life because he has to repeat high school forever. I think it's his 34th time repeating high school, and this time he actually ends up with a group of popular kids, so that just follows his story, and it just sounded interesting. I believe I got this one on Book Outlet as well. Alright, the next one in my collection, I think it's pretty well known. It is Hatsuharu by Shizuki Fujisawa. And this boy, they call him the Playboy. His name is Kai, and he can get any girl that he wants. But one day, he pretty much runs into this girl, and she is tiny, and she is scary as heck. Like, she is tough, and she could beat this boy up. So he falls. He starts falling, kind of in love with her, but then he realizes that she has a crush on somebody else. So that just takes you on their high school adventure, and I thought this was really cute, and it is really fun because I love me a strong, badass female character. And the last manga series that I have in my collection, which I want to talk about, this hair is just, it is not cooperating. It is Mermaid Boy by Yomi Sarachi. I have volumes 1, 2, and 3, and the really sad part about it is that I don't even know if they're going to be releasing any more volumes. Like, I've been stalking them, and I have heard nothing. But if you can't tell, this is a gender-bent Little Mermaid story, and gender bent Little Mermaid story, and this follows Prince Naru, and he has luscious hair, the perfect body, and super confident. But his parents keep setting him up with other mermaids, and he's like, I don't want them. Like, I'm not having it. I'm having fun. Leave me alone. And he falls in love with the girl on land, and he wants this girl, and he'll give up anything for this girl. So he meets the sorcerer, and the sorcerer is like, if you will make a deal, if you give me your voice, you can go on land. And he's like, no, that's stupid. I'm not gonna give you my voice. And the sorcerer is like, okay, fine. And he's like, well, then you have to give me your luscious hair and your good looks. And he takes that bet and goes up to land and tries to woo the girl while looking like a straight up nerd. So, oh my god, I read the first volume and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. But the thing is that the sorcerer kind of takes his looks and his body and impersonates him so he can try to rule the king. Y'all, it's a lot of tea in this book. It starts off cute, and it really is cute and it's so fun, but like there is some tea going on in these volumes, and I love it so much, and I'm so disappointed that I don't even know if I'm gonna get a volume 4. I love the series so much, and I usually don't even like to purchase, you know, the volumes if I know the series is not continuing on. But I had such a great time reading these, and I'm such a huge mermaid fan that I was like, I need this in my collection now. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching and sticking around through this whole entire video. I really appreciate it. And if you have any manga recommendations that you haven't seen in this video, comment down below, because I need to read more manga. Y'all, like, manga is so freaking good. I highly suggest that you pick up the ones that you do like. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.